Terry really got game.
Nah, he cold.
And for 95% of the league, you got to be in the right spot and have an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's only a handful of guys that can go on any team and be who they are. And that don't mean that the other guys not that good. It's just those 5% of players are really that good.
Yeah.
So, obviously you don't never want to see somebody get hurt, but it was a blessing in disguise for Kyrie to get hurt. Yeah. T-Row got to show, that he can lead the team and be the starting point guard. And
when he tried to dunk on Bron, that's when it got crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
that was in our last game.
Yeah, I was like, he ready to go home. He done enough. I'm just trying shit down.
But the movie.
Jason Tatum and Jeff Teague showed mad love to Terry Rozier on the podcast, and it made me wonder what happened to Terry Rozier, a.k.a. Scary Terry, because he was making plays on the Celtics, and this guy was also averaging 20 on the Charlotte Hornets, and now currently he is out of the Miami Heat's rotation, and he hasn't played in the Miami Heat's rotation for at least 3 games now. Now, this guy was just dunking all over Kevin Durant like 3 to 4 years ago, and he was also trying to dunk on LeBron like Jeff Teague mentioned earlier, and LeBron didn't want no smoke. Now, after seeing these clips, I know a lot of you guys are like, well, how is he out of the rotation? But I finally figured it out. And Terry Rozier has been expected for gambling, and a lot of people think that this is the reason why he hasn't been playing, but this is absolutely false, and I will expose how the NBA tried to lie on his name. So if you guys want to know what happened to Terry Rozier, you will get your answer if you guys watch the whole entire video. I'll ask that you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get on to the vid. 2019 to 2020 season, Malik Monk and Terry Rozier were the starting backcourt, and Kemba Walker had just left Charlotte and went to the Celtics, and Terry Rozier was hooping. He averaged 18 points per game, and he had a career-high 3-point percentage, but the problem with this is the Charlotte Hornets were absolute trash, and they were 23-42, and this landed them the 3rd overall pick in the draft, and they ended up selecting LaMelo Ball. Now, you guys have to remember that this was in 2020 when quarantine happened, so this was not really a normal year whatsoever. As we fast forward to the next season, Terry Rozier was hooping, and he averaged 20.4 points, and LaMelo Ball didn't really get much run because he was a rookie, and they just didn't want to start him like that. As you guys seen, Terry Rozier averaged 22 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds in the games without LaMelo Ball, and the Hornets were just trash, but he was putting up stats. Fast forward to 2023, and Terry Rozier was having the best basketball of his career, but unfortunately, he had to get traded. And he got traded for Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first-round pick to the Miami Heat. Now, the Miami Heat made this deal because they were struggling on offense, and they were bottom half in the league when it came to offensive rating. And the Heat really made this deal because they lost the series to the Denver Nuggets in 5 games, which pissed people off. So once Terry Rozier got to Miami Heat, he was hooping. He was averaging 16.4 points per game, and he was doing that with Bam, Jimmy, and Tyler all on one team. So his role was different. He didn't have the same role, but he was playing on a winning team. So it's different now. Now, fast forward later on in the season, he ends up getting hurt with a neck injury, and he gets neck spasms. Now, this injury kept him out the final 4 games of the regular season and the entire play-in tournament and the first round of the playoffs against the Boston Celtics. Now, they said this injury wasn't career-ending or anything like that, but this is a big reason why he's fell off now. This injury was really bad, and he had severe neck spasms, but the league didn't want to address that he had severe neck spasms. And you guys see, they can cause strong tractions that pull the head and neck. They may be accompanied by severe pain, dizziness, balance issues, or vision problems. And they said it may persist for 7 days or even weeks. Now, fast forward this, the Heat lose to the Boston Celtics in 5 games, and they absolutely needed Terry Rozier. And Pat Riley had something to say after the season was over. He said, "I see him with a neck brace on. He's doing everything he's supposed to do." Riley said during Monday's end of the season press conference, "I met with him the other day, and he said he felt good. This is a process. It takes time. When you're dealing with the spine, you don't mess around. We're not going to mess around with Terry. He wanted to play desperately, and he couldn't. It's going to heal, and the doctors convinced us and him that in time, it's going to heal, and he's all right." Now, like Pat Riley said, Terry Rozier really wanted to rush back, and honestly, this was not the best thing for Terry Rozier to do because he had severe neck spasms. Now, as we fast forward to the next year, which is this year currently, he had the worst season of his career. I mean, bro, he couldn't shoot. He couldn't do anything. He was getting more turnovers than ever. He wasn't playing defense the same anymore. And he just looked like a totally different person. And he's the reason why the Miami Heat actually lost a lot of games, because he only averages like 10 points this season, like I said, which is a career low. And something that I didn't know earlier in the video is that he did leave a game because he had a groin strain. So he did have a groin strain and a neck injury. And again, a lot of people like to point to this sports betting investigation stuff, and I'm gonna expose how the NBA really lied on Terry Rozier's name, because the reason why this even came out as an allegation was because he was playing bad, but he was injured. He was dealing with groin strains and neck injuries, bro, which doesn't make any sense. And the NBA really lied on his name. That's why you haven't seen Terry Rozier get suspended, or you haven't seen Terry Rozier face any legal troubles, because the NBA tried to lie on his name, bro. Now, I'm going to tell you guys another reason why the NBA why the Heat won't play Terry Rozier. It's because he's just been very inconsistent of a scorer. Like, when Terry Rozier is not scoring the ball, he's really a big liability on the court. And that's another thing. Like, he's very limited defensively now because he's got older. I don't think a lot of people know that Terry Rozier is 31 years old. So he's getting older now, and the Heat, when it comes to older players, they haven't been playing a lot of older players this season. You got to realize this is a reason why they moved Jimmy Butler. They felt like Jimmy Butler was holding back the youth of the team, so they've been prioritizing Tyler Hero. They've been prioritizing Davion Mitchell. They've been prioritizing all of the young guys, and Terry Rozier is just the odd man out. Now, do I think Terry Rozier can come off the bench and play for Tyler Hero? I think he can. But how he's been looking this season, I can't blame Eric Spoelstra and the coaching staff for making this man a DMP. And it's absolutely sad because he really is a bucket. But the problem with Terry Rozier is he's like D'Angelo Russell. He's a guy that can put up numbers on a trash team, but when he's actually on a competitive team, his role shrinks and he's really not that good of a basketball player. Or you could say he's like Bradley Beal. And another thing about Terry Rozier's game that has fell off was his finishing around the rim. As you guys seen in the earlier clips when he was dunking on KD and he was finishing all of these layups, that's because he was younger and he was more explosive. But I think with all of the injuries he's dealt with, he's just not the same finisher anymore, which was a big part of his scoring. Look at this clip right here I'm about to show you guys, bro. Look at how fluid his finishing was back in Charlotte. Now, again, Charlotte didn't have anything to play for, and all of the years he did average 20. The team was trash overall as a whole, even with LaMelo Ball constantly being in and out of the rotation, and even having Malik Monk, bro. Like, Terry Rozier was allowed to play more freely, but now that he's on a playoff team, he can't play as freely anymore. And being 31, being undersized, and not taking advantage of your usage, that's a problem. In conclusion, Terry Rozier really rushed back on the court when he wasn't really supposed to, which has caused a major drop-off in his production as far as scoring the ball, as far as shooting the ball, because he did hoop when he was hooping with Bam, Tyler, and Jimmy. So the potential is there, but that was before the neck injury. And it's like after the neck injury, I don't know if he just is struggling to move his neck or what have you, but he's making more turnovers than ever. He's just not playing as the same player anymore. And honestly, I don't even think he can probably produce now, even on a bad team, because of how horrible he's been. And another thing is Davion Mitchell just has been much better this season. I've already made a video on Davion Mitchell and the impact that he's made, but you have to look at the Heat's point of view. Why would they play a 31-year-old inefficient guard when they have a young point guard who's looking to get paid and is looking to get a bag this summer? That's another reason too. Davion Mitchell is due for a payday, and the Heat have to see how much Davion Mitchell is even worth, because of course, if he does really good, he's going to be a part of the Heat's future long term. Terry Rozier, not really. He probably has like 2 years left on his contract, and then he's done. I don't know exactly how many years he has left, but despite the tough season, he's kept a positive attitude about it. So shout out to Terry Rozier for being a good sport and being a good teammate. And I wish the best for Terry Rozier, and I hope that he can bounce back from these neck spasms and actually get back to hooping on the court and not being a DMP, because it does suck.